Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media here, and for decades and decades, when something weird happened, when something creepy happened throughout the world, we would refer to the Twilight Zone. I'm sure everyone watching at some point has used this analogy. Well, we've seen articles like this for years. Huffington Post, 10 Twilight Zone episodes that came true. These classic episodes are eerily close to reality, and without a doubt, there are a lot of creepy similarities from old Twilight Zone episodes that came to life. We could say that about Star Trek. We could say that about a lot of TV shows. Well, most recently, in the last, say, 5 years, people have really started to change the term Twilight Zone to Black Mirror. Many of you have seen the show Black Mirror and can't help but draw some connection to real life. And many of you might have heard recently that the Black Mirror creator has put season 6 on hold. His reason for this is very interesting. As it says out of IndieWire, Black Mirror creator says the world is too bleak right now for season 6 to happen. Charlie Brooker is spending time in quarantine writing material that is much lighter than the darkness of Black Mirror. As it says, and I quote, Black Mirror is one of the buzziest Netflix original shows whenever new episodes debut, but does a world plagued by a viral epidemic really need the added existential dread of this science fiction anthology series? Black Mirror creator Charlie Brooker doesn't think so. The mind behind the anthology smash hit was recently asked by Radio Times about a season 6 update, with the outlet reporting that Brooker said he's not sure if audiences could stomach another season at the moment. Black Mirror debuted its 5th round of episodes in June 2019 and often takes over a year off in between seasons. And I quote, I've been busy doing things. I don't know what I can say about what I'm doing and not doing, Brooker said. At the moment, I don't know what stomach there would be for stories about societies falling apart. So I'm not working away on any one of those Black Mirror episodes. I'm sort of keen to revisit my comic skill set, so I've been writing scripts aimed at making myself laugh. Well, as this article out of Zero Hedge says, Black Mirror creator abandons writing because we're already in a dystopia. And I'm going to get more into this in a moment. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already and check those links below. But let's go further into what's going on here. As it says, Black Mirror creator Charlie Brooker told UK's Radio Times that his audience might not be able to stomach another season of his dystopian Netflix series. He said in the public mood is not suited for another season, considering the world has been thrown into a dystopia via the virus pandemic. When Brooker was asked for an update on the writing of season 6, he responded by saying, and what I had just previously noted, his previous quote, Black Mirror, which airs on Netflix, has produced 5 seasons so far. The last season was released in June 2019 and consisted of just 3 episodes. The Emmy-winning series plunges its audience into a nightmarish dystopia where technology is making people's lives a living hell. With the world caught in the middle of a pandemic, economic crash, and geopolitical tensions soaring between superpowers as a surveillance state is being erected across the world under cover of the virus outbreak, Brooker does not want to give his audience any more negative ideas. Now, isn't this interesting, though, guys, that I mean, we've seen this with the Twilight Zone. We've seen this with the show Outer Limits. Obviously, Black Mirror is really taking over as the dystopian show of the century. And so many things from that show have come true. And it seems as though maybe not everyone wants to build a blueprint for dystopian psychopaths to mimic. We could go into a few examples here of how they've been right. I mean, as this article says, 8 Black Mirror things that already exist in real life. And, you know, some of them include self-driving pizza delivery vehicles, which we saw in one of the episodes. We've seen social credit out of China. Now, in a Black Mirror episode, everyone has a social credit score. Everyone's super happy about it. You know, slaves everywhere. But what we're actually seeing in China is unbelievably dystopian, where your political beliefs have weight in your social credit. So if you can get a loan, or if you can go and buy yourself a house, go to a restaurant, travel, be on an airplane. If your social credit score is just high enough to be able to get on an airplane, but not high enough to have any privileges, essentially you'll have a high-pitched blasting sound blasted into your ear, so you feel uncomfortable the whole time you're on a flight. I mean, this is so beyond Orwell. This is COVID-19 84 on steroids. And they are using this crisis to push these things further. We're expecting a digital ID in the next couple years, which I'm not getting, but they're going to try and force this on everyone and say you can't travel or do anything without it. They're working with Facebook. Facebook, of course, helped model China's social credit program around facial recognition. So now police can walk down the streets in China with goggles on that show people's social credit scores above their heads. I mean, that's so beyond dystopian. I don't even know how one can add anything to that. But I do want to mention a few more examples here. Well, you got robot bees. Well, they've been using bugs as drones for quite some time. And they also have, if I scroll up a little bit here, recording memories. Many of you have seen the episode of Black Mirror where a man was able to record his memories and play them back. I don't know about playing them back, but what I do know is that Elon Musk is developing Neuralink, and Neuralink is said to be able to record memories, record ideas, help you with your memory. Mostly it's designed for problems with brain function, brain injuries, concussions, Alzheimer's, you name it. But he has up front and said on things like Joe Rogan that you could use Neuralink possibly to record memories. And then another example is smart houses, which they brought up in that article. The point is, there are countless examples of this very problem arising in the future of, utilizing dystopian science fiction books like 1984 or the movie Brazil or whatever you want to do, Dune and Logan's Run, and we've all seen millions of, science fiction movies and shows and books come to life over the years, even if they're more silly than a doomsday type scenario like Brazil. You have things like Star Trek, where we get the cell phone, we get all these things coming out of there, laptops, etc. Point is, these things are all coming to life, and now we're seeing the creator of Black Mirror say, let's take a step back here. Maybe we need to have some humor in these times. It's not so fictional anymore. I mean, same as Orwell was very concerned at one point that his book was becoming a reality. Or we can't forget Roddy Piper from They Live, close to the end of his life, saying, I didn't realize that movie was a documentary. You could go back to movies that came from Hollywood, for example, like the movie Conspiracy Theory, which has very much become a reality in many ways. You can look at so many other examples that lead into what we're witnessing today, and it's almost like we're just primed for this unbelievably dystopian reality we all live in. Does anyone actually sit back ever and just go, whoa, what the hell is going on? I mean, people get so used to it. People get so conditioned to it. They get used to the chains that they've been revering for so long. Unbeknownst to them, they don't realize what they're really revering. They're chains. And they get used to it and used to it and used to it, and it's a frog boil, an incremental frog boil, and eventually people just go, yeah, this is normal life. There's nothing strange about this at all. No, guys, every moment of your movement is being tracked in a massive database that's sent to China, which murders people as a fascist communist global dictatorship that has technocratic rule thanks to people like Mao Zedong meeting with Kissinger in the 1970s, and then leading into the creation of the Trilateral Commission under Zbigniew Brzezinski, who talked about his dream of a massive technocratic state. And now we have that, and now this coronavirus outbreak is a perfect catalyst to lead into that. And people are like, yeah, well, I mean, they're even saying in New York, you're not allowed to leave your house until September, possibly until September. We're in the second wave is set to hit, but you might be able to get out if you have a contact tracing app on your phone, which traces your every move and everyone you talk to and everywhere you go and every cent you spend and everything. And they're basically hanging that over your head. Want to be a prisoner in your own home that you've already accepted for some reason? Or do you want to go outside? If you're going outside, we have to see every moment of your life, see everything that's happening. Sounds like way worse than Black Mirror episodes at this point. We are past Black Mirror even. And the writer said it himself. He's writing less bleak things than what we're actually witnessing in the world right now. The question for everyone then would be, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to continue to react to this? Are you going to give into it, or are you going to do something about it before it becomes too late, before your children are enslaved in this unbelievably technocratic, creepy, Orwellian, Black Mirror-like world? Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought today. Make sure to check the links below. Everything is shadow banned. Everything is restricted here on YouTube these days. This video might be taken down, so make sure to check us out on BitChute. Join us on float.app. Guys, we need you over on the other platforms, seriously. And then check those links below. Join our subscriber newsletter and all sorts of stuff, all linked below. But guys, go join the other platforms. It's the end game here. We are not on YouTube much longer, so we need you guys now more than ever. Anyway, appreciate everyone watching, and until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here, OM? Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribe Star. We really can't do it without you. We've been so insanely shadow banned, about 90% at this point, and 95% demonetized. As Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, comes in and says that she is shutting down quote-unquote controversial content and cutting out the views on this controversial content by 70%. She's been bragging about it. We need your help more than ever in this battle for truth in information. You guys are what keeps us alive, so we really appreciate just even $1 a month makes a huge difference. If everyone could give just $1 a month, we wouldn't even have to worry about competing against the mainstream propaganda networks. You can also donate to our Bitcoin address on the screen for you to scan if you please, as well as in the comments and description. Liking and sharing makes a big difference as well, and finding us on alternative social media platforms like float.app, that's flote.app, makes a huge difference. We're at Josh Sigurdson as well as at Wham. Float is replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon all in one with encrypted private messaging, and of course monetization on videos for creators, live streams with super chats in crypto, and most of all, no algorithm, because at the end of the day, it's all about reach, guys. This is all about actually reaching people with the message and waking up the public. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, all sorts of different platforms. Try to follow us on as many things as possible, because very soon this channel will very likely just be completely deleted from YouTube, and you'll never see us again, and you'll be stuck with only the mainstream networks. Also, come on out and see us at Anarcho Vegas 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada in July, where such speakers such as G. Edward Griffin and many others will be speaking. You could use promo code WHAM on your VIP tickets and save 10%, as well as buy extremely cheap tickets for just $20.20. You won't find a cheaper conference than this with such amazing names. Check anarchovegas.com for more information on that. We hope to see you out there. And anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys joining us. You make it possible for us to survive in this volatile, propagandized climate. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.